Hello everyone, and welcome to this video where I will be sharing with you exactly how to generate motivated seller leads for your real estate business in 2022. I'm going to break it down, simplify it, and actually show you how to generate seller leads. Most of the videos that are out there kind of show you, they get real close to showing you and then they kind of back away. And I want to grow my YouTube channel, so I figured what better way to do it than to give away the whole farm and basically show the systems that we use to generate motivated seller leads. So I'm going to be sharing with you exactly how we do this, and just to give you even a little bit more proof, here we have our Holy Grail sheet, which is basically a culmination of all the properties that have sold through our system. We help real estate professionals get off-market deals. So the system I'm going to be sharing with you and showing you how to implement for yourself is basically what people pay us thousands and thousands of dollars for. And if you don't believe me, you can ask them and they'll tell you they do. So basically, these are some of the addresses. Over the past 6 years, we have sold over 170 properties. You can see here, if I highlight this, 168 properties. And it's funny because in 2019, that was actually when we first were able to start tracking these leads, because before that I was focused on just helping clients get buyer leads. So what I'm going to be showing you in this video is legitimate stuff. It's like high level, how do you actually get this stuff done and how do you find these motivated seller leads. I'm not just going to like glance over it and just say, do some PowerPoint. So we're going to get into it. So let's get started. So I broke it down into 5 simple steps, and I basically turned kind of our overall strategy into a nice little graph here. And if you watched my previous video on how to get motivated, I think it was just normal high quality leads, you'll see just a very similar framework. So I'm going to be showing you step by step how to actually set this up. So let's get into it. So first we have our audience and our messaging, and that's going to create the result. So a lot of people try to focus on so many different things when in reality, the audience that we target and what we say in the ad is ultimately what's going to draw in the right people. So many people want to copy paste a template and get the most leads for the least amount of money, which can be good depending on where you are in your business. But as you develop and mature and get more evolved in your business, you realize that it doesn't really matter how much you're paying per lead if you're successfully closing deals and you're making profit, right? Sometimes I talk to agents and I tell them how much my clients pay for leads because of the systems that we implement to really create a good quality, serious lead and a legitimate conversation. And I say, hey, some of the lead costs that we have with our clients are, $180 per lead. And they're like, whoa, $180, that's a lot. And I'm like, I don't really say anything because that's just what their perception is. But, little do they know that, one of our clients made $600,000 profit in 2021 for a $180 lead, right? He didn't just have one lead, but the point is, so many people are fixated on cost per lead and what's going to get the most bang for your buck in terms of templates and stuff like that. But like I said, if you're watching this video, you seriously want to grow and you want to focus on the things that actually work. So, when we think about audience and our messaging, the intent of creating this advertisement and actually getting in motivated sellers is for you to close a deal. The intention is not to get leads at a low cost so that it looks cool. The goal isn't to just get your name out there. This campaign is literally designed for you to get leads, get appointments, talk to people that you can potentially help, and make a profit. So we have to focus on our audience and our messaging. And the more we speak directly to the people that we're looking to talk to, the higher the probability is going to be that we're going to get the type of lead we want. So don't worry about templates. Don't worry about trying to just, throw something out there so that you can start getting leads fast. Focus on, okay, how do I make this a sustainable system so that I can consistently close deals from it rather than just the quick hit, the quick cheap leads, okay? So that's the first part. Second thing is once we kind of dial that in, we're going to actually run the ads, and I'm going to show you how to set up the campaign, what buttons to click, how to name everything, how to keep things organized, and then I'm also going to show you how to retarget those people that, didn't necessarily fill out the form and, submit their information, and we're going to do that with laser-like precision because we're going to be using lead forms in this specific example. Then I'm going to show you how to link it to a CRM and how do you automate your SMS and email follow-up. So let's get into it. So the first step is the audience and the messaging equals the result, okay? So I'm going to do this inside the campaign. I usually don't do it in the campaign, but just for the sake of kind of showing you how to do it, simplifying it, and doing it all at once, I'm going to do it in the campaign. So the first step we're going to do is go to business.facebook.com, and I'm basically going to go to all tools, and then I'm going to go to ads manager. So this is basically the ads manager, and perfect, it opened up my test account. So basically I have no campaigns here, no ad sets, no ads. So this is just one of my ad accounts, and we have a bunch of other ones. So what you want to do here is, number one recommendation I have too is if you have a bunch of ads here, you've ran ads before, you really should at maximum only have 3 to 4 campaigns. And if you're really, an agent or an investor, you realistically should only have probably 2, which would just be cold and warm. If you're doing online sales or something like that, it's a little bit different, but these, seller leads are pretty much local businesses, so there's not really a need to overcomplicate this. So let's get into it. So we're going to go to create. We're going to go to lead generation, and basically this is going to be our cold traffic campaign. So basically I always name it the type of traffic, and then I name it the type of campaign. So we would do cold traffic and then lead generation. So this shows us exactly what type of traffic we're hitting here, and then what type of campaign objective. And this is just my method that I've come up with over the years, so there's not really, it's not like this is something other than just my method, so it's up to you if you'd like to do it that way. Now, I have all these different, methods and things I've learned, and you can see I'm actually showing you inside one of our SOPs, which basically teaches our team members how we do this stuff so they don't have to reinvent the wheel. So I'm basically pasting this or copying this directly from our process here. So cold traffic, lead generation, and then I paste this here. We'll adjust this later. We're just creating the campaign shell, as we like to call it. So once I click continue here, it's going to take me into the actual campaign. And now I got to choose the special ad category, which is housing. So anything related to real estate, and even if you're like myself who does real estate marketing and you speak to real estate agents or investors, or you use the word real estate, Facebook's pretty touchy with it. So at this point, all the campaigns that I pretty much run for clients are obviously all housing, and then even stuff that I run for our company, it usually has to just use housing, or else we have to keep manually checking it. So just click housing. You don't have to understand every element of it, and turn all this stuff off if it is on for whatever reason. And then we move to step 2. So I'm going to show you a very, very simple method to get seller leads, and I'm also going to show you how to really simplify this process so it's not confusing, there's not a lot of variables, and you're not wondering what's working, okay? So what I'm going to do here is basically leave this here, so we'll adjust this in a bit, and I'm just going to choose my personal page. So I'm going to choose Quinn Nolan. So there I am, and we're just going to keep on moving. So nothing to do here, leave that there, and then for your daily budget. Okay, so this is going to depend on a variety of factors, mainly your location. Like if you're in California and you want, 100 seller leads per month, you can't get by with $5 a day. So, just for anything related to sellers in general, I would recommend at the very least like $10 a day. Even that to me is a little bit too low, but if you're using lead forms, which is what I'm teaching you in this specific video, you should be okay with $10. But just know that you're not going to get hundreds and hundreds of leads unless you're in an area that is like totally untapped, which I doubt. So in this case, I like to do 25 or so. So I'm going to do 25, and I'm going to leave this here. And the other thing I like to do personally is I always like to set my ad date in the future. It just gives it a clean start date, and if there's anything I need to adjust in the meantime, I don't have to worry about it launching and then trying to change the ad while it's live. I like to just do things right up front, start everything, on a clean day, and then basically just let it run. So this is what I would do. Like I said, you can do this however you would like. So I would do something like this. So it basically would be starting tomorrow at midnight, and there's my budget. And so now we have the location as the United States. Okay, so that's going to be the entire country. So let's just say I'll pick a random city. Let's just do Cincinnati, Ohio. All right. And I'm going to do people living here because I want people that live here. I don't want people that are traveling. That's how I want to that's what I want to tell Facebook is people that are living here. Okay. And the, mile radius has to be a minimum of 15 miles. So that's totally, I'm fine with that. That's how I'm going to leave it. If you want to go larger, then you can go larger. But basically, I'm going to leave it at that. And you can't mess with the age demographics due to the housing category thing we selected back here, so we can't do anything there. Now, the only real other variables we can mess with here are going to be the targeting and the placements. So what I like to say is if it's your very first campaign or you're just kind of getting started and introduced to this, I like leaving things blank. So you wouldn't add any sort of category here. You wouldn't do any sort of, Zillow or Trulia or anything like that, and you wouldn't mess with any placement. So this would almost be like in science, like your constant, right? So you would just basically have, no targeting, and you would have automatic placements. You'd have the next ad, which I'll show you. And then if you wanted to do a test, you would only change one variable. So for the sake of simplicity, we're not going to add any sort of interest targeting. However, I do want to show you how you could do it and what I recommend if you do want to do it. So for example, if you are looking for sellers, you're going to want to target for sale by owner. And you want to leave this as one individual interest, because if you start adding multiple, it kind of depends, right? So if you want to clear your mind and just know what's working at all times and be really clear about it and not be like, I don't know what I'm doing, you would only add one interest and change one variable if you were ever testing, right? That way I could easily tell, I'm doing a for sale by owner and the exact 4 ads, and then I'm targeting Zillow and the exact 4 ads. The lead cost is this, the lead cost is this here, this one's getting this quality, this one's getting this quality, this one's working, right? But if you're just looking for something to just kind of run and you're not too worried about like what's working, and you want to be a little bit more innovative, I guess you could call it, which I would really just call like a little more chaotic and just boom, I just want people coming in, then you could throw all these into a batch, right? You just start adding all these different things. But like I said, there's really no clear way to signal, to like discern between the signal, like what's actually getting you the real result, and what's all the noise of just more leads, lower cost, but not actually converting, right? So this is how I recommend doing it. Keep things clean. Keep your inputs clean. Your outputs will be clean as well. So we're going to do for sale by owner, and we're going to do automatic placements for this specific example, okay? Now, the next thing is going to be to create our actual advertisement, all right? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you, how we add in the ad and basically kind of write it with you here, do the headline, create our lead form, and, show you how to get to the next step, which would be hooking it up to the CRM. So here we go, right? So what I'm going to do is basically, let me get an image here just to create some, some look here. So we're going to do Cincinnati, Ohio, okay? And so usually depending on, like if you're an investor and you're looking for distressed properties, you're going to want to show, a little bit more of a distressed property. If you're an agent, you're looking for like listings and stuff, you're probably going to want to show a nicer home like this, okay? So let me close down all this chaos here. I like to keep things clean. And I'm just going to add this image just so we have kind of a nice place to start. So we're going to do this, and we're going to click on next. And we're going to do original here, and then we're going to leave this original, and I would just move this to that and just see if you can kind of get the main part of the house on the corner. Pro tip, the best traffic in most scenarios does come from the Facebook feed when you're looking for sellers. But like I said, for the sake of simplicity and just showing you a method that does work, we're going to leave the placements as automatic. That way you let Facebook kind of do its thing and find people, so you're not like constantly making adjustments, right? So there's kind of the image here, and I realized that I didn't adjust this. So I want to show you guys how to adjust this. So basically you can see it says audience number 1 from Audience Worksheet. So this is from my program, New Breed Agent Academy. So that's kind of the naming convention we have here. But to simplify it, what does this mean? It basically just means what's the interest that we selected here. So we're going to copy this and we're going to paste it here. So that way we can see, exactly what interest we targeted, especially as we add 10, 20, 30 different ad sets, which you're most likely not doing, but for us, that's how we keep things really clean. Then the second thing is going to be the location. So we're going to do Cincinnati, Ohio, and we even have a spot for the radius. So we do 15 mile if that's what we're doing. Okay. And then I just like to put that there. That's just my preference. So I can see the age we're targeting, the interest, the location, the radius, and then we have our ad angle. So the ad angle is basically, what we write in the ad and kind of a short way to summarize it. So let's just say for this specific, ad, let's just say that it starts off by saying, if somebody wanted to buy your home, would you sell it? And then let's say I write a little bit more there. I would just use that part of it as the ad angle. That way I could clearly distinguish between, what what's in the actual ad, right? Because this is the ad set, and so I want to be able to see, okay, what's here without actually going in there, looking at every ad. So you'll understand this when we complete this entire process. Then the next thing is the placement. So I'm just going to put automatic placements. So now I can clearly see, okay, cool, we're targeting 18 to 65. We're targeting the for sale by owner interest in Cincinnati, Ohio with the 15-mile radius. And the ad angle, which means all the ads within this ad set says or is related to something about if somebody wanted to buy your home, would you sell it? And the placements are automatic placements. Perfect. Okay. So now we're going to finish the ad and finish the entire process. So if somebody wanted to buy your home, would you sell it? And then we could say something like there are currently buyers looking to purchase a home in your neighborhood. Click learn more to see exactly how much you could sell your property for right now. All right. So if somebody wanted to buy your home, would you sell it? There are currently buyers looking to purchase a home in your neighborhood. Click learn more to see exactly how much you could sell your property for right now. Okay. So this is just an ad I kind of came up with off the top of my head after, literally running thousands of ads for sellers. So I know this will work. So that's the ad, right? Simple, to the point, and we're kind of touching on a more serious seller because instead of just saying what's your home worth or get your home's evaluation, we're saying if somebody wanted to buy your home, would you sell it? There are currently buyers looking to purchase a home in your neighborhood. Click learn more to see how much you could sell your property for right now. So we're talking to the segment of the market that is more intentional about selling their property versus somebody that's maybe more curious about what their home is worth. The one thing I want to mention here is that when you use lead forms, Facebook lead forms do tap into a different segment of the market versus a landing page, which I'll be kind of demonstrating towards the end here. But I do want to just kind of make that disclaimer that, if you're really looking for that high quality lead, we're going to want to use landing pages, but your lead cost will go up. And for the sake of this video, I didn't want to complicate it. I just want to show you, how to set this thing up, start getting leads. And then if you notice, hey, I need to get higher quality, then you can kind of review the other videos I'll be creating on the landing page stuff. So so this part is there. And so now we're going to do our headline. So for the headline, I'm just going to say, see exactly. Okay, so I would say something like, let's see how that looks. See how much you could sell your property for. One that works really well for investors is like all cash offer for your property. So I'm probably going to go, if this is a residential ad, I'm going to go, we have buyers looking to purchase homes in your area. So I would actually say the area. So I would say near Sin. See if I can spell that right. Okay. So I would do something like that. All right. And basically now we're going to move to the next step of the process, which is the call to action. So the call to action, I like to do the, in most cases I do learn more, but when you're really wanting to create that quality lead, you want to use your language very, very carefully so you can start to get people that are more intentional. If I say learn more, well, anyone can learn more, right? If I say get quote, it's like, okay, I'm kind of, even though when they click get quote, it doesn't like debit their card and they're buying something. It does kind of create a different view in my eyes and based on my experience. So I'm going to make sure that I use get quote, but realistically, I couldn't give you the exact data between the buttons, and it really is not going to matter. It's just my preference and what I just want to teach you guys how this stuff works. The other thing I'm noticing here as I create this headline is that we have buyers looking to purchase homes near, right? It's cut off. So what's kind of funny is that with lead forms, because of the way that they work, sometimes you'll even get buyers on an ad like this, even though it probably blows your mind, but it happens. So I want to be more, I want to change this because I feel like buyers, just knowing, having done this so many times, it's like buyers will click this, even though it sounds insane, but it's true. So I'm going to do this, sell your home near Cincinnati. Sell your home near Cincinnati. I'm just going to leave it like that. Sell your home near Cincinnati. Okay? That way it's like not talking about buyers at all. I know it's still here. But for the sake of this example, I'm just going to leave it at that and then get quote. Okay? And then we're going to create our form. So this is an instant form inside of Facebook. So it's super easy to do. So what I'm going to do is just call this seller leads demo number 1. And we have more volume. I'll leave it at more volume for this example. And then the background image can just be the same image from the ad. So I'll just use that here. And then for the headline text, I'm going to say sell your home. Okay? And then I'm going to say something like, now may be the best time to sell your home before the market shifts. If you are serious about selling your property, we have appointments available over the next 2 to 3 weeks, either in person or virtually. And there we go. So, this is some qualifying stuff. Like I said, if you want to just copy the ad and remove this stuff, you can. But just know you're kind of going to let the floodgates in. Okay, so I want to show you how to really start qualifying with language, just so you can kind of have an idea of what you can be doing. Okay, you could change this, but just know that the more you kind of write and put these, it's almost like yellow tape. Like, even if you put yellow tape around somewhere, it's like, it's not, somebody could just cut it and just go through, but just the yellow tape being there kind of prevents people from like, oh, maybe I shouldn't go there, right? So that's kind of what we want to do, just have a healthy blend of like, hey, this is like sell your home, but like, you don't have to be ready to sell like immediately right today. We want those people, but we also don't want to like exclude people and over-index on people only ready right now, right? So it's a healthy blend. This is kind of what I would do. Now, here's the interesting part. So we're just going to do more qualifying language. So we're going to put enter your information below. This will be used to contact you about selling your home. So that's another little thing that we're adding versus some people just do, enter your information below and they just get as many people in the system as they can, and we want to have these little touch points. Okay? So the other thing I like doing is, this is, if you're not familiar with what this section is, this is basically where we collect their information. This is auto-filled from Facebook. So what I like doing is I like doing first name, and then I like doing last name, because that's just the way that it works best for most CRMs and easier to sort later. So first name, last name, and then email, and then phone number. And I actually went over it, I think. Yeah. So we're going to collect first name, last name, email, phone number, but here's the other thing I want you guys to do. So we're going to do qualifying questions here, okay? So we're going to do some questions like, let's see, how do I ask it? I think I say, oh yeah, we'll do reason for wanting to sell your property. Okay, and then we're going to list some reasons. I'm not going to do all the ones we do just because it may take too much time, but we'll just do like divorce, relocating, downsizing, something else. Okay, you could add more, but I just want to show you the function. Okay, so then we're going to do another multiple choice, and we could say, when would you like to sell your property? And then we can do immediately, 1 to 3 months, 3 to 6 months, and then you could do 6 months plus. And like I said, you can break this down into different days. You could do, immediately 1 to 14 days. You could segment it however you would like. Okay, the key point here is to add questions. You want to add some friction, okay? Because the lead form itself is already like there's not a lot of friction. Like you would see if you kind of knew what we did and saw the back end of all the stuff we did with marketing, you would see like, wow, there's a clear there's a way more people fill out a lead form than fill out a landing page. So we need to add friction or else you literally will get buyers. And it sounds crazy, but it's true. So most other marketers won't tell you that because they just want to get cheap leads and show it off. But if you want to actually convert, you're going to have to do this stuff, okay? And I have more videos I'll be making, so I'll be showing you how to do all this stuff. So that's the first question, reason for wanting to sell your property. When would you like to sell your property? And then we could ask, I like to get them to type. The reason being, it's really easy to click a button, and click another button, right? They're going to click this button, click one of these buttons. Then if they click next, this auto fills, and then they click next, and then they submit. So they're really only clicking 3 times, and they're not really having to put any sort of intention. So once again, this is however you want to design it. If you're scared and you just want to get your first leads, take all the friction out. Remove the questions, just put name and email, phone number, and you'll get leads. But once you kind of, like I said, start getting more evolved and you really want to value your time and get good leads, you have to have this type of a process. So what I'm going to do here is I like to make them type and tell me why I should call you back or email you or send you a text back. Like, show me that you're interested and put effort into just a little bit, even if it's just a little bit. That way I know, hey, look, I'm not calling this person that just clicked 3 buttons and, I'm wasting my time. Okay, so we want to add some of this stuff here. Like, we could say something like, let's see, tell us about your situation. You could just say something like that. Tell us about your current situation and why you need to sell the property. Okay. And then we could do another one, another short answer, so they have to type. When would you like us to contact you about selling your property? See, so the more questions we ask, the more they're thinking, oh, wait, I'm actually inquiring about selling my property. I'm not just filling something out and ignoring it. We're making them jump through some hoops because you can go learn on YouTube how to get really cheap leads, so I don't really want to show that. I'll probably have a few videos like that just so you can learn some of it, and it's good for views, unfortunately, but that's how I want you to think, right? It's like they're clicking the ad, they're seeing this, now they're reading this, now they're seeing sell your property, right? So we're repeating that, right, throughout this process. Tell us about your current situation and why you need to sell the property. When would you like us to contact you about selling your property, right? So now we're like, there's a lot more effort that's gone into them filling this out versus a few clicks, okay? I like to add one more just for a little bit extra friction. And like I said, these are clients that will pay us, thousands of dollars a month and, are spending $3,000 to $5,000, if not more, on ads. So we're not looking for just as many leads as possible. So this is what we would do for them. When would you like us to contact you about selling your property? And then what's the best way to contact you about selling your property? We would do call, text, email, in person, etc. And just as I'm here, I'm thinking of another question we usually do, which would be when's the best time to contact you about selling your property? Morning, evening, or morning, afternoon, or evening. Okay, so whenever you're making them type, you're creating, you're not really creating intention, right? Because really, at the end of the day, somebody's desire to sell their property has to already exist inside of them. You can't, go make somebody want to sell their property that doesn't have that desire. Like even somebody that if you said, hey, I'll buy your property for $100 million, if somebody doesn't care about money at all, they're not going to be incentivized to sell their property, right? If they value that home and it has more sentimental value to them, you can't just create that desire unless it existed. Now, if somebody liked money, somebody didn't really care too much about their property, and you give them a crazy offer, they'll be out in a split second, right? So these questions don't necessarily create a higher quality lead. They just create friction for those that are more intentional. If somebody's in a serious situation, right? And this is the best way that I like to explain it to people. If somebody's roof is leaking, right, and there's water coming down, they don't need content, they don't need education, they don't need, you don't need to tell them, why you're better. It's like at a certain point, it's like, who can stop the roof from leaking, right? So the more serious and extreme we kind of make the example, the better I think the easier it is to understand what we're actually doing. Where if somebody's in an urgent need to sell their property, they see the opportunity, they're in a bad situation, whatever, then they're gonna fill it out because they need somebody to contact them like, dude, like I'm willing to do whatever I gotta do, just sell this house, right? So we're just kind of creating some layers where they have to go through in order to actually, get to talking to you and get you to see that, hey, this is a valid lead. So that's the process. Then we get the first name, email, and phone number, and you'll see Facebook says this, which is true, but like I said, we're optimizing for deals, not leads and low cost. If you're watching this video, if you want to see some low cost stuff, you can check out other videos, okay? Link is going to be your website link, and then privacy policy. So if you don't have one, and you're at Century 21, you can just go to your brokerage website, and at the bottom there's going to be some sort of privacy policy right there. So you would just take that. If you're at EXP, you can come here, same thing, There it is. Okay, so if you don't have your own website for whatever reason, you can just go to your brokerage website and click privacy policy, and you basically just click that and then you paste it here. Okay, so there it is. And then the link text, you just put privacy. And then for completion, now we want to, this is the next step of this process, okay? So we want to actually create a good headline that speaks to, you know, them actually like booking a call with you, right? And being a lot more intentional, okay? So I just like to put book a call and then say you click book a call down below. And you could call this schedule an appointment, however feels more aligned for you and your market, but click book a call down below to schedule an appointment about selling your home. Okay, so we're being very logical here, and we keep saying the same thing, you know, about selling your home, about selling your home, about selling your home. So we want as many of those loops for them to have kind of gone through in their mind before they talk to us. And then for the website, I would just put your Calendly link right here. So if you go to Calendly, you can create a free account. Is this mine right here? Okay, so I can use this as an example. So it'll just link right here, okay? And then we just paste it here. And then once they fill out the form, they're taken directly to, you know, this calendar page, and they can book, okay? I would make a new event too and make this, you know, 15-minute home seller evaluation, or 15-minute, you know, listing appointment, or however you want to call it, but re-emphasize again here, this is a booked call to sell your property, okay? So we're going to click publish, and there we go. So now we basically have another, we got the ad, we got everything set up, and now I want to just show you how we can add a few more images and then link everything to the CRM and basically finish the process by doing the automated SMS and email and the retargeting, okay? So what we would do here is we would click duplicate, okay? And we would click duplicate, and then all we're gonna do is just change the, change the actual image of the house. So we're gonna type that, we're gonna click delete, we're gonna click add media, click add image, and I'm just gonna use these since they're already here. But you would find another image on Redfin or wherever if you have your own property, whatever it is, then you would just, you know, add that here. I'm going to click quickly duplicate again, change this to image 3, click delete, click add media, click add image. There, I can use this image now, make sure everything looks good, which it does, except I want to choose that. And one more, I like to do 4. There's no perfect rule. Some people do 10, some people do 1. It kind of is just, you know, what you've learned and how you've been kind of trained to do it. So I like to do 4 across all of my accounts, and in some cases we only do 1. But for what I'm teaching you, just do 4. Now we have, basically, we have this exact structure built. So we have our cold traffic campaign. We have one ad set, which in this case is our for sale by owner interest, which is awesome. And now we have 4 images, which goes to a lead form. And then you're going to see the next part of this process here. All right. So hypothetically, right, this would be scheduled for tomorrow. It would be scheduled for May 10th at midnight. So when you click launch, right, when you would click publish, if I click publish here, it's going to ask for my card since I don't use this account. But when you click publish and you have your card in, it'll publish all 4 of these ads, and then basically they'll be in the review status, and then they'll be scheduled once they're like approved. So what you would do, all right, after it was scheduled and ready, is we would go to this part of the process. So I'm going to show you how to do the warm traffic. How do we retarget all these people? Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to this hamburger menu. We're going to click on audiences, and you need to make sure that you're under the right ad account. So I was in my 4th ad account, right, which is my demo. So everything, this is where I need to be. And then I'm going to go to create custom audience, and I'm going to go to lead form, and I'm going to click next. And then what I'm going to do is go to anyone who opened but didn't submit the form. And then I'm going to type in my page name, which was the name that we're running the ad from. And then I'm just going to choose this exact form. Okay. So now what we're telling Facebook is, hey, create an audience of the people that opened that form that we just made, the form where we added all those questions and the name and email and all that stuff, but they didn't submit. Get all those people into an audience for me in the last 90 days. This is the max you can go out, I believe. So yeah, it's 90. Then what we're going to want to do is call this people. We're going to literally copy this. Always keep things standardized within the system. So if there's any place that you could name it the exact thing that it's named, do that, because if you freestyle it, you're going to be looking back like, dude, what did I do? Okay, so there we go. So people who opened but didn't submit form, and that's within 90 days. And then I could write a description just for extra bonus points. People who opened but didn't submit form, and then I could do 90 days. And then I could do seller leads demo number 1. That way I have reference for that exact audience. And now I can see, okay, this is because when you have 50 of these, which I wouldn't recommend, but if you just start creating stuff, you may end up with, 7, 10 of these. Now you can see, okay, people who open but didn't submit form, 90 days. Okay, from that page and that. Okay, cool, I got that. Cool. Makes sense. And then you know what's what. Here is the next step. So now we just told Facebook, get an audience of those people and, start finding those people. So there's going to be 0 people here because I just made the form and I didn't run an ad. But when you actually start running the ads, you're going to see, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people, which is really cool. And if you have ran the ad for, let's say you've invested $1,000 into the ad on this specific strategy, it may not show over 1,000 people, but it may say ready. So if it is actually ready and you have invested money into it, there may be 700 people, but it won't show you anyone over 1,000. So you still want to implement the strategy. You still want to run the ad, even if it doesn't show a number. So we're going to click Ads Manager, and now we're going to go back to this form. So what we're going to do here is I like to just duplicate it. So, we just basically take this entire campaign and we're just going to duplicate it and, change some stuff out. Okay. We're going to click duplicate and we're going to click duplicate again. And now we're going to just close this out because it's going to show all this stuff in one place. And I like to just see it right here. So we're going to go step by step with the same process. So you notice it removed the other one, so it's nice and clean. So now we're going to remove the copy, and then we're going to change it to the type of traffic. So this is warm traffic. This is somebody that has engaged with the ad at some level. Going to leave all the settings the same because we're literally just running an ad, right? We're running an ad to these people that don't know us. They're engaging, they're clicking either in or they're clicking out or they're seeing the ad and scrolling by. We're telling Facebook, hey, somebody that clicks on it but doesn't go all the way through, let's just shove them into this thing again until they finally submit the form, all right? Because if they started it but they didn't finish, maybe they got lazy, they didn't want to fill it out, whatever the reason is, and we want to find those people, right? So we're going to leave everything as is. We're just changing one thing. We're going to change one thing, okay? So instead of for sale by owner, we're going to do that audience name. people who opened but didn't submit form, 90 day. Okay, so I just pasted that. It was still pasted from my browser. And now you can't just launch it, you got to actually do this. So number one is I would reduce the budget, in this case to, $10. Okay, so I would have it as a percentage of the total budget, and I would make it, a little bit less than the cold traffic, and then, I would get too advanced to explain all of it, but basically, as you get a bigger warm audience, you would probably start to just budget more money just towards the warm retargeting, right? You still need cold, because if not, the system will just stop. But once you have 25,000 people, you don't want to just go and get a bunch of cold traffic. You want to maximize the engaged people, right? So in this case, since it's a brand new account, we would do 25 on cold and then 10 on the warm. All right. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to remove this. Okay, so people who match for sale by owner, we're going to remove this, because we don't want to target those people. We want to target these people, the people in our custom audience, people who opened but didn't submit the form. Perfect. So now we're telling Facebook, hey, we only want to show this ad to the people that opened but didn't submit it. And we're going to leave everything the same. So we would just publish this again. All right. Now, I wanted to make this point here that what I just showed you, this entire strategy could be used. You could do anything right here. You could add a video. These could be 4 videos. And then this could be 4 videos where you said, hey, I noticed you clicked on my ad, but you didn't submit the form. I wanted to give you a little reminder here. Fill out the form below if you want to sell your house, right? So I just showed you the frame, but you could literally do anything inside of this structure, okay? But I wanted to simplify it. So you could change the ad here. Hey, I noticed you clicked on our ad, but you didn't fill it out. Are you serious about selling? If you are, click learn more, right? But I want to simplify it. Just want to give you those ideas in the meantime too. So now we literally created this entire process, and we would publish it, and then basically, tomorrow at 12 a.m. these would be live, and we'd have 2 perfect campaigns. One going to new people that don't know us, and then we would have a warm traffic picking up all these people that engaged but didn't submit the form. And just so you could see kind of a live one in effect, this is not for, I'm not going to say exactly what this specific system is for, but you can see this is how it works. We have cold traffic getting leads at $110, and then we have the warm traffic picking up all these people, and you can see it's leveling out the lead cost. And this is just one example of a client that we're helping out. So that's kind of what it would look like after a few days, maybe not this many leads and stuff, but that's the idea, is like, okay, cool, we're getting new people exposed to us. Maybe they don't know who we are, so they're not as they're not ready to just click and book a call or whatever, but the warm traffic is picking those people up and putting them right in there. So let's go to new breed agent account number 4, and there you can see the exact same structure. So we've basically accomplished our audience and our messaging. We've ran the ads, and I showed you how to retarget with the call to action with the people that have submitted the form. So now you're probably wondering, okay, well now the ads are live, right? Let's say that you're, this account, and you're like, wow, the ads are live. Like, how do I get these leads? Like, where do I get these leads? Well, the first place you can get them is you can actually download these inside of Facebook, and they'll, basically give you an instant download to a CSV file. But the problem with that is that literally you're going to have to be checking your ad account every 6 hours or whatever. And number one, you don't want to be checking your ad account manually for leads. We're setting up an automated process, and then here you would be manually going and extracting these leads. Doesn't make sense. Number two, when you start checking the ad account multiple times a day, it may make you a little crazy. I noticed like when I first started, I'd always be checking ads, watching them, looking at them every second, thinking something was going to happen. Now, I make more money the less I check the ad spend, and I just look at, our tracking sheet. We have our team members tracking our clients' accounts every day. So I just go in, look at the sheets, and then I try to do my best to not even touch anything, because this stuff takes time and you want to do it right. And sometimes, the first day it's like nothing, second day nothing, third day nothing, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days like, whoa, this is the best campaign I've ever ran. With lead forms, you won't really experience that like delayed like 4-day thing where you're not getting any leads unless you added too many questions or you're totally off. But there are days where you won't get a lead, and then 2 days later you get 4 or 5 and everything looks great in terms of the numbers. So you want to launch this, and number one, not be manually extracting the leads, and number two, checking the ad account as little as possible, maybe once a day at most in the morning at the same time, because more you start checking, you're just going to start getting involved, tweaking stuff, trying to change it, and then you're not data driven, you're just emotionally driven at that point. So what's the next step? How do we get this into a CRM, and how do we create some automation so that it's an actual good campaign? It's not just some leads coming in, like where do they go, who do they talk to, like how do you get notified? So I'm going to actually show you how to link it to a CRM that we built on top of another CRM, and show you how to create this stuff and show you how easy our system makes it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go to crm.newbreedagent.com. So this is our CRM, like I said, that we've built on top of another CRM called Go High Level, which is a super awesome system. But the cool thing about what we've done is we've built everything proprietary to real estate. So we have the follow-up campaigns, we have the pipelines, the funnels, we have all kinds of stuff that we built. So it's not like, because Go High Level out of the box it's basically just a blank slate. It has the function, but it's a blank slate. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to link it to our CRM and start adding some automated text. It's really, really cool, and I'll even do a little demo for you. So basically, we have our campaign, right, which is our page. Okay, so we have our business page, which is in this case Quinn Nolan. So what we're going to do when we're logged into our CRM is go to settings, we're going to go to integrations, and then we're going to click connect your locations Facebook account. So you'll see if I refresh it, there's nothing here, right? I'm going to show you literally how fast this stuff is. Make sure my ad blocker's off, and I'm going to click connect. Okay. So now it's going to load to Facebook. I'm going to click continue as Quinn Nolan, and then basically it's going to pull all of the pages that I have ownership over. So I'm going to choose Quinn Nolan, and then I'm going to click connect Facebook and Instagram. And just like that, it's literally connected. And then the other cool thing is it connects the ad account. So I can see all of the ads, the ad spend, and like all the metrics inside of our CRM. So yeah, everything's connected now. I'm just going to click refresh. And then you can see, so selected page, Quinn Nolan, and our CRM even pulls your Facebook messages that go to your business page and your Instagram DMs. So now check this out, where before you would have had to, go to Zapier, made an integration, and automated all these leads. Now all you got to do is click Facebook form fields, and look, it just pulls all of these fields, or all these forms I've made. All I got to do is map these fields. Okay, so first name, last name, email, phone number. And then since this is a demo account, I don't have all these custom fields created already, but basically in our other accounts, we have all these questions already here, and all you do is map them to the right field. So you just click on reason for wanting to sell, and then it would just be that one. And then when would you like to sell your property? Boom, right? This is just my test one, but boom, it's just there we go. We would mapped all the fields at that point. Boom, and then boom, and then that way, boom, the form's now integrated, it's live. And just to show you how snappy this thing is, check this out. Let's just say that I went here and I wanted to create another new form, and I just called this, 2, and I published it. Check this out. I refresh the CRM here. Boom. Same form is there, just duplicate it. I can map those fields instantly, save it, just like that. So no worried about automation, all this other stuff you got to do. Now everything's hooked up, right? Everything's connected. Okay, so now let's show you how this actual thing works, okay? So what we're going to do here is, let me make sure I have this back on this and close all this chaos. I don't want all this stuff open here. So now, the lead form is hooked to the CRM, right? But how does it get here, and then what happens after, right? So the cool thing is, how does it get there? It just automatically gets there, right? Which is really, really cool. So we're going to do this thing called lead add tool. And this is Facebook's free tool that basically gives you to test this stuff. So you're going to see how this thing works. So I'm choosing my page, which is Quinn Nolan, and then I'm going to choose the first form we created because that's the right one. And then you can see, look, no one is in this system. This is just I think somebody spam called this number, but there's no other lead here. You see, I refreshed it. There's not anyone named Quinn. Nothing's in here, right? So if I click here, I can go to preview form. And now it's basically showing me the form that the lead is going to see when they click on the ad. So reason for wanting to sell your property, I'm going to choose divorce. When would you like to sell your property? Immediately. And then I'm going to say, tell us about your current situation. I need to sell my property fast and need help. I'm just saying that. Okay. When would you like us to contact you? ASAP. When is the best way? Please text me. When's the best time? Right now or mornings. Okay. Now I have all my information here. Okay. So first name, last name, email, and then phone number. So I'm going to put my actual number here and my actual, I don't need to put the email. That's fine because I'm going to demo the text. So now this is what the lead would actually see, right? They'd be on Facebook, see the ad. Now they're seeing this thing. They have to fill all this out. Now we're clicking next and we're clicking submit. So just to refresh again, check this out. There's no lead that is in this system at all, right? You just see this other number. So all I got to do is click submit. So that would be what the lead would do on Facebook, and then they can click view website, and then that would take them to the calendar, right? Now if we refresh here, give it a second, I don't know there it is. So client got emailed, which would be you, if you were a client of us, you would get emailed that you got a lead and texted that you got a lead, and there it is, right? So now, yeah, so there it is. I didn't even mean to set this up, but basically my number got texted. I'm going to pause this and get my number and interact with this right now. All right, so I'm back and I got my text. So check this out. Boom. Look at that. So now I can interact back and forth via two-way text. This is awesome. Boom. So I'm getting texted right now. Now, so we created an ad. We have a way to get seller leads. We have retargeting, so they see you everywhere. And then within 2 or 3 clicks, we have this integrated into our CRM, so we don't have to do any sort of complex stuff. And now this system is texting the lead back and forth. And the cool thing here is I'm going to show you how to create this automation. I'm going to show you how to create a new one and demo it live. So what we're going to do is go to automations. We're going to click create workflow and click start from scratch. And the cool thing is, it's so easy to do this stuff. Like, I'm telling you, when I started, I had to learn all these different softwares and tools. So what I'm going to do is just call this lead form submitted, and then I'm going to just do an arrow and just do auto text and email, okay, just as an example, and then just click save here. Okay, so now we have what you call a trigger. So what triggers the action, which is what we're going to create, but what starts this process? So it's when they fill out the form, right? So if you had another software, you would have had to link all these things up, but all I got to do is click Facebook, since our software integrates directly with Facebook. So all I got to do is lead form submitted, and the cool thing is I could even choose the exact form. So if I'm running multiple campaigns or different things, I can choose the exact form so I don't get leads from another ad that should go to a different process. So I could choose this exact one, which is seller leads demo number 1. So that's the exact ad. And so now we created the trigger literally already. And then I'm going to do a new thing right here. So I'm going to do a SMS. So this is the new automation test. And then the other cool thing is I can do an attachment. So I can add an image, which is what we do with our clients. We like to add an image of their face, because that's where all this stuff's going. If you're texting somebody that they can't see like who you are, or there's no like social proof, it's not really up to date with when you're messaging someone on social media, right? So we're gonna click save action, boom, and we're gonna publish it, okay? And the other cool thing is our CRM can do voicemail drop, so it can call you immediately, and call the lead immediately, and then if they click 1, it'll redirect to you. You can do a voicemail drop, you can do email, you can do Facebook Messenger, DMs, and all kinds of other stuff, but for now I'm just going to simplify with text. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to turn off these other things, because I think, let's see what triggered. I think this triggered here. This one. So this is all of our automation we have built out for clients, and I think it's triggered back here. So we're going to turn this off so that we get the new automation that we just made, and not the one that was already hooked up. So now that we turn that off, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to delete myself as a contact, click confirm, and then basically I'm going to refresh this little tool, delete myself as a lead from this form. Boom. That way it doesn't have to be, you don't have to, it's not going to jam the system. And then what I'm going to do is click on preview the form again. So just so you can see, I deleted myself as a lead. I'm not here anymore. And now I'm going to click on preview form, and I'm going to fill this out again. Test 2, test 2, test 2. Boom. All right, so now I'm going to click next, click submit, and then I'm going to go here, refresh this, and I will have gotten a text, right, with the new automation in place in literally just seconds, right? It may take a second for the lead to come in again, but there's the lead, just came in right now, and it should text, this is the new automation test. Oh, I put in the wrong phone number here. So let me do it again. So delete the lead, but you can see how fast this thing works. So when you're out and about, you're getting leads, inbound leads, like, you're not going to have any sort of way to keep up with this system, right? You need automation. So we're going to click preview form, do it again. Got to change my number. And I'm going to change the email so it doesn't link it to a new person. Boom. Now when I click next and submit, now it's going to go to this new contact and I'll be able to get that text. There it is. So, I mean, that was literally what, guys? 12 seconds, maybe less. So just like that, there it is. I just got the test. This is new automation test. And look, I got the image. Wow, this is insane. I'm going to take a selfie right here with the mic. Boom. And then you'll see this right here. Image will be coming in just a second. And then look, you can see download file. Boom. Takes a second for the image to come in, but this typo, I don't know why it didn't do that, but you could see I can engage easily. And so just like that, boom, we have our lead form, and we can see the images come, or the text coming in. And it's really, really powerful, guys, because you go from, linking up this ad and not knowing where things are going and like what messages they're getting. It's like anyone can do this. Anyone can literally come into this thing, make an automation, and literally it's so easy. You just click plus. Oh, I want to write an email. Like I can just do, here is the email. Boom. Put your name, email, subject, and then save it. And now you have an easy way to actually be a part of your process with the leads, because most people just hook them up. They don't know what their leads are getting and they wonder why they can't convert. So this kind of summarizes this strategy. I know this was a longer video, but I wanted to pack it with value. This is really, like I said, I don't think you'll be able to find anything like this. I gave you what was promised. I showed you how to write the ad, showed you how to get that result, show you how to run the ad, show you how to retarget those people and link them to the CRM, and how to automate the SMS and email as well. And it's really, really powerful, like I said, because if you go to your reporting too, this software literally has all this stuff in there. So if you were running ads, it would show all your impressions, your cost per lead, and your attribution, which is just showing you where leads come from. It would show you like where all those leads came from. Like, oh, this lead came from Facebook, and you can see like where they came from. And when you start realizing how much leverage you could have from a simple system like this, for the amount of ease that I just showed you. I basically just showed you how to set this system up for yourself. Like, most marketers don't even know how to track this stuff. And if you use Facebook lead forms and you do this stuff right, you literally can have a better system than most marketers would ever provide you for, just setting it up yourself and just doing it. So just wanted to provide this value to you guys. Please like the video, please subscribe, and share this with other friends if you found it valuable. I want to grow my channel and I want to provide as much value as possible. So I'm hoping this video did just that. Click the like I said, click the subscribe, share it with a friend, and I trust this finds you well. Comment below if you would like to see more videos from me, and if so, about what, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.